Hi, I'm Hayley Craig from NTAA Corporate, and I have with me Riley Jones, NTAA lawyer, to talk about a new type of unit trust that we have. Riley.
Thank you, Hayley. Yes. Now, this particular unit trust, it came about because we actually got a query from a member who had a self-managed superannuation fund that owned or wanted to buy units in a unit trust. It wanted to buy 50% of those units. And ordinarily, under the SIS Act, if a super fund owns up to but no more than 50% of the units in a unit trust and there's nothing else hidden behind the scenes, then they are not considered to be controlling the trust. And that means that that trust will not be a related trust. It means the trust can then go about its business, it can borrow, it can carry on business and do all these things which related trusts can't do ordinarily if the super fund has invested in them, or there's limitations on the amount of units that a super fund can have in these related trusts. Now, the problem which the member raised was, I mentioned as long as you have up to 50% and there's nothing else hiding behind the scenes. And they had a look at our standard unit trust deed and they said, we noticed that the chairperson in a meeting of the unit holders, if there's a deadlock, the chairperson gets a casting vote. And they're right, that's what our standard unit trust does, and same with the Constitution. The reason for that is because it allows for resolution of problems. When you've got exactly the same amount of people where they can't agree, and you need to resolve that deadlock, one way is you get the chairperson to have a casting vote, then everyone goes about their business. That's fine from a perspective of carrying on meetings and trying to get some resolution of issues. But when a super fund, if a member of the super fund or a related party of the super fund is a chairperson of one of these meetings, then that almost could give them de facto control, where they've got 50% of the votes plus one, because they've got the casting vote, that's enough to push them over the line. And that could, in theory, not always, but in theory, that trust could then possibly be a related trust, and then you get all of those issues. So what we did was, back in the back cave, had a look at our unit trust deed in detail. We have removed that particular clause. We've gone through everything else to make sure there's nothing else hiding in there. And we've created what we call is the unit trust deed brackets geared trust. And it's designed primarily for super funds which are investing in unit trusts, where they want to acquire up to 50% but no more of the units, and they don't want anything else hiding in there. That's what we've done in this case. So there is no casting vote. That creates then possibly additional problems. There could be genuine deadlock with a trust deed like this. So what we've done is we've introduced a dispute resolution clause, which then allows anyone, where there is a deadlock and they can't move on, then any one of the unit holders can then basically refer that issue to arbitration, and then an arbitrator will come in and resolve the deadlock for them. So that's how disputes will be resolved with this particular deed. We've also changed the Constitution and have a separate Constitution as well, which also has removed the casting vote, similarly has this dispute resolution mechanism added in as well. And again, we refer to that as being, it could be a trustee of a geared trust. I should probably point out that it doesn't have to be a geared trust arrangement, or it doesn't have to be a constitution of this sort, doesn't have to just be for a company that's going to be a trustee of a geared trust. It could be for anyone who just doesn't want to have this casting vote issue and instead wants an alternative method of dispute resolution within the trust itself or within the corporate trustee if there is a corporate trustee. So that's basically the purpose and the design behind this new product, and we then provided it to the member, and obviously it's now available for all of our other members as well. Particularly where they're in that situation of a super fund wanting to invest in a trust, wants to be pretty certain that it won't become a related trust. They still need to be careful themselves that, for example, they don't get a related party who buys additional units, or that they don't have anything else hiding behind the scenes, which effectively gives them control of that trust. But hopefully the trust deed and the Constitution won't trip them up in that respect.
Excellent. Thanks for that, Riley.
No worries.
So, of course, if you're interested in this type of trust, or you would like that kind of constitution where they don't have the casting vote, you can still order online and pop special instructions in that that's the type of deed or constitution that you would like, or give us a call, visit our website.